Oh shit. Oh man, they are coming in hot. Oh my god, that was close.
Oh my god, that was close.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Can you see what C is? Oh my god, I'm shaking. Look at this. The adventurer steps onto the expansive black sand, carrying fishing gear, but lacking food and water with no provisions, and limited sources. The survival challenge escalates significantly beyond expectations. He tears a petal and tastes it, verifying the plant's safety through direct ingestion. Such is the brutal reality of his solitary journey. Relentless waves crash against the rocks standing on a precarious platform, nearly swallowed by the surging tide. The explorer realizes the original camping plan is utterly unviable for the night. Nature dictates the terms, forcing an immediate shift to a backup strategy to ensure his physical safety. He adjusts his heavy pack and abandons the treacherous reef, seeking a safer, elevated sanctuary inland. Survival demands constant adaptation. Darkness conceals the raging ocean, clad in a black raincoat amidst howling winds. The adventurer warns of a massive storm approaching from the pitch-black sea with terrifying speed. The peril is compounded by a recent tragedy, as a companion named Andy reveals a boat capsized in similar conditions. Just yesterday evening, embarking into this chaos without any safety gear or modern technology is a gamble with life itself. The vessel plunges into the abyss with Andy. The explorer boards the rocking boat, entering a suffocating cabin where the ceiling sits inches from his head. Water drips in this cramped void, creating a claustrophobic nightmare. Enduring such confinement is the price for reaching distant fishing grounds. Dawn remains hours away, checking his watch at precisely 4 in the morning. The exhausted explorer anticipates their imminent arrival at the final destination amidst the violent swaying of the cabin. He meticulously brews a cup of local coffee to combat the bone-chilling fatigue and mental exhaustion. That single sip of hot caffeine becomes the ultimate fuel, reigniting his fighting spirit against the brutal elements. The steaming beverage serves as a vital lifeline, sustaining his unwavering resolve through the relentless night. The destination is finally reached. Standing on the rocking deck, the adventurer points toward the faint sunrise on the horizon, marking the end of their grueling night voyage. However, a prolonged hour and a half of casting yields absolutely nothing, leaving the entire crew completely empty-handed and deeply frustrated. Growing anxiety forces him to brew yet another coffee, hoping the rising sun will finally bring a bite. The ocean simply refuses to cooperate. Saying in deep frustration, the explorer calls off the public sea fishing after exhausting every technique from ultralight rigs to surface lures. The marine life has vanished entirely, rendering their relentless efforts completely futile and deeply disappointing. Yet, refusing to accept total defeat, he heads back to the rocky coast, determined to salvage some redemption through alternative means. Improvisation becomes the only weapon, holding a discarded yellow float and a tangled ball of pink cotton. The explorer devises a radical plan to fish without any hooks. Wrapping the fluffy debris around a simple sinker, he deliberately increases the difficulty of this extreme survival challenge. It is not a conventional fishing method, but rather a desperate gamble for survival. The makeshift rig flies into the churning white waves. A sudden sharp tension signals a catch. Frantically reeling in the improvised rig, the explorer triumphantly hauls a slender silver long tom onto the slick, dangerous rocks. This success marks the 10th cast of the day. A closer look reveals the fish's beak completely entangled in pink cotton debris, proving the bizarre trap's grim effectiveness. He simply could not escape the tangled mess. This miraculous catch secures their dinner, transforming discarded beach trash into a vital lifeline for the night ahead. Look at this storm. We've got a massive, massive storm. Look at that big thing in the background. Big black storms coming our way and doggies. We've got ourselves a feed. Oh shit. Well, this is getting hectic. I need to get out of here. Dude, I nearly lost my fish. My shoes. The go probably. The waves are coming right up here. I need to get out of here. Yeah. Oh, this is home. Welcome home. Actually, a temporary sanctuary takes shape on the dark sand. The explorer unrolls the mesh tent and swiftly secures the structure, establishing a basic shelter against the harsh elements. He bypasses the gas stove in his pack, choosing instead the primal method of building a wood fire to cook his fresh catch. Kneeling on the pebbles, he carefully nurtures a fragile flame beneath trichonut husks, guarding the spark with intense focus. The fire roars to life. Celebrating the miraculous catch, the adventurer proudly displays the gleaming long tom, admitting he expected to eat mere snails tonight with tattooed hands. He expertly guts the fish, revealing the needle-like teeth that explain why the cotton trap worked so flawlessly. The intricate details of this primitive trap highlight the sheer ingenuity required for wilderness survival. His joyous reaction underscores a profound connection to the raw power of nature itself. Rain begins to fall softly, scaling the massive fish that dwarfs his own leg. The explorer works quickly as the weather turns damp and gloomy, placing the fillets on a makeshift grill. He accepts the meal without any salt or pepper, embracing the pure, unadulterated taste of the wild. This simple act of cooking transforms a harsh environment into a temporary home. I hate this little fire on the back here, going so I can keep pushing coals across if we need it. But look at that. So I've just towned about, I don't know, 2 minutes ago. And look at it. All right. The Ryan has set in. Hopefully it's not here to start. The feast is finally ready, pulling the perfectly golden, slow-cooked fish from the grill. The explorer retreats into the tent to escape the persistent rain. He tears off a thick piece of steaming white meat, savoring the exquisite texture before sharing the precious bounty with his companion. In this desolate place, such a meal represents the ultimate triumph over nature's hostility, a fleeting moment of warmth and satisfaction amidst the relentless storm. Night brings devastation as he anticipates morning fishing. A wave obliterates the camp, plunging him into darkness. Trembling in freezing water, the explorer watches his fire vanish beneath the tide. Ruthless power reduces hours of labor to ruin in one terrifying moment. Total destruction surrounds him, pointing toward the Black Sea. The adventurer explains how the massive surge completely wiped out his entire setup, leaving the tent soaked in the embers hissing. Scrambling to salvage his scattered gear, he realizes this spot is lethally unsafe and demands an immediate evacuation. Wiping the salt water from his face, he accepts the cruel irony of losing everything right after a perfect meal. Escape is the only option. Recalling the deafening boom of the rogue wave, the explorer describes how he barely managed to lift the tent before the water rushed underneath, packing away his charging electronics and abandoning the idea of sleep. He points toward a distant elevated ridge. Leaving the ruined beach behind, he marches into the dark jungle to find a safer haven for the night, seeking higher ground away from the relentless tide. Why? Good bloody morning to you. How good is it? I've been up since pitch black I started. Fishing so long ago. I've been hanging out to make a coffee. And we can get a fish for breakfast and lunch. Ready, ready, ready. Oh shit. The morning light breaks gently over the distant horizon. The explorer lifts a steaming cup, savoring the rich and inviting aroma of freshly brewed coffee as a visible sign of pure contentment. Standing amidst the jagged black reefs, he carefully inspects a small blue lure before casting it far into the deep waters. On the second attempt, the rod tip jerks violently, marking a sudden and powerful strike in the open sea. The tension is palpable as the line cuts through the air. The battle is swiftly won, keeping the rod bent in a perfect arc. The adventurer expertly guides a slender silver snakefish out of the churning water and onto the jagged rocks. He proudly displays the tiny diving lure that triggered the strike, then examines the fish's vicious, toothy snout with evident satisfaction. This immediate success on merely the second cast validates his technique and sets an incredibly high standard for the day's fishing challenge ahead. The excitement is palpable as he confirms this is no mere luck, but a testament to his skill. Conservation overrides consumption, deciding breakfast is not urgent. The explorer gently releases the snakefish back into the tidal pools, allowing it to fight another day. Yet his optimism quickly fades as he surveys the surrounding waters, which are choked with an unimaginable sea of plastic debris. The tide has pushed this toxic waste directly against the rocks, rendering the area completely unfishable. Frustration reaches its absolute peak. Reeling in the line with high hopes, the explorer pulls up nothing but a worthless piece of white plastic film. Instead of a fish disgusted by the continuous pollution, he officially calls off the fishing session. His pockets already stuffed with 15 pieces of retrieved trash. The ocean's bounty has been entirely replaced by human negligence, forcing a drastic change in strategy. He stands on the high rocks, arms wide, declaring the end of this futile attempt. Foraging becomes the new mission, declaring it time for a morning break. The explorer swaps his fishing rod for a knife to hunt for wild oysters among the jagged rocks, constantly watching his back against the dangerous swelling waves that threaten to pull him away into the deep. He carefully probes the tidal pools for his target with a precise flick of the blade. He extracts a small but precious oyster, immediately swallowing the fresh morsel to sustain his energy during this brief pause. From the relentless ocean, nature provides a rugged feast, peeling open another oyster and joking about its slimy texture. The adventurer suddenly leaps backward as a massive wave crashes over the slippery rocks, dodging the lethal surges with agile movements across the black stones. He manages to pry loose a remarkably large and juicy oyster from the stone, displaying the glistening meat still dripping with seawater. He consumes the plump morsel on the spot, finding profound satisfaction in this raw, primal foraging experience. I made night up for that night of fishing where we got nothing, and that's what it's all about. I had a sick time. I hope you did too. I'm just gonna go walk along here and fill myself up in oysters. And, thank you for watching. Much love, and, of course, I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, doggies?
Oh!